Guys, in this video we will create a modern split typography effect that's perfect for lower thirds, intros, titles and motion graphics. So let's jump into After Effects. Let's create a new composition and now let's add text. Let's change its color to white because I was working on a previous project, so it's yellow. And now let's align this to the center, so I'll go to this align tool and I'll center it. Now guys, we need to animate this text first, so I'll go to this text layer and I'll expand it, and I'll go to this animate and I'll click on this tracking, and after this I'll go to this add and I'll add two more properties, which is opacity and then position. So guys, we have added three properties to this: position, opacity and tracking. Now guys, in this y-axis change its value to 60 and then make the opacity to 0 and also the tracking amount to -150. Now guys, expand your this range selector and put a keyframe on this start and then moves a few frames away and then make it 100. So this is our text animation. And now select these keyframes and press F9 to easy ease, and by moving these keyframes, by moving this one keyframe, you can choose the speed of this animation. And to make this animation a little more smoother, I will click on this graph and then I'll click on this bar and I'll make it like this. So this animation looks a little more professional. Alright, so now let's close this text layer and let's change the font. Now guys, after finalizing your text animation, we need to add a background, so I'll go to layer and I'll click on new and I'll click on this solid. Now guys, drag this text under this text layer and let's select both and then pre-compose, and I'll rename it to text 1. So guys, the next step is to split this text into two, and to do it more professionally, I'll click on this and I'll click on this title action safe, and let's pick this rectangle tool and draw a mask to make the half of this split. And guys, make sure you select the exact half of this text. And now let's duplicate this layer, so I'll select this and press Ctrl D, and now in this second layer I'll expand it and I'll click on this inverted. So the text is now complete but in two portions. Alright, so now select these both layers and press P for position. So now let's move to the position where we want to split this text. So my animation ends at this point, so I'll make two keyframes at this point and then I'll move a few frames away. And now I will change the position of each of these separately. So I'll move this half upwards and this half downwards. So I'll select the first layer and then I'll make it move upwards and the second one downwards, something like this. You don't have to worry about the positioning right now, we will adjust that later. So let's decrease the distance between these two. So now it's time for the second text. So I'll select my type tool and add the second text. And let's align this text again, so I'll click on this center and then middle. So this is our text, and let's adjust the distance of this layer because the distance between these two is big. So I'll select this and I'll move it up a little up. Let's move this text layer to the bottom, and now we need to add another background. So I'll click on layer, new and solid, and I'll make it black, and I'll repeat this process again. I'll select these both and I'll pre-compose them. This will be text number 2. So this is how our animation is looking, and still we need to add another mask on this text. So I'll repeat the process again. I'll select this layer and I'll go to this rectangle tool. I'll choose the half of it, and now let's make a duplicate of this text layer, and in this duplicate click on this inverted. So this text is complete, and now we need to position this text as well. Now at this point where our previous animation is completing, we need to add keyframes on the positions of these two texts. So I'll select these both and I'll press P. I'll make a keyframe and then I'll move away. And now again we need to change the positions separately. So I'll select this one and I'll make it like this, and I'll make this two around this. And also at this point we need to change the positions of these two as well. So I'll select this layer and I'll make it upwards, and I'll select this and I'll make it downwards. Now at this point we need to add another text, so I'll go to my type tool and I'll add the third text. Let's align this text, so I'll click on this and I'll click on this, so it is in the center and it looks perfect. So now let's move this text to the bottom, and now again we need to add another background. So I'll click on this layer, new and solid, and I'll create another background for this third text. So I'll select these both. And guys, make sure you place this solid under this text so it is visible, the text layer is visible. Now select this text and solid and right click and pre-compose again, and let's rename it to text 3. Alright, so now let's tilt these text layer all at once. So I'll create a new adjustment layer. And guys, on this adjustment layer we need to add another effect which is called transform. And in the options of this transform we need to make this skew to -8. So this is how our effect is looking, guys, and if you want to make it faster or slower you can play with the keyframes. So let's make it a little faster. So guys, this speed is looking absolutely perfect, so I'll leave it on this. And if you want to change the color of any text, let's select the text and go inside this pre-composed layer. Just select your text and change the color to any color you want. Alright guys, so if you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want the project file of this text animation, you can find it in the description. And I'll see you in the next video.